Hi, it's Jenny and Steve from Jenny and Friends and Hot Take Tuesdays. So we kind of touched on this a little bit today in the show, but like outdated wedding traditions since May is like traditionally like
Yeah,
the
a
wedding
big wedding
month.
season, the whole thing.
Yeah. I there are so many things that we do for weddings that are straight up stupid.
Well, when you think about them logically, they don't really make a whole lot of sense. So it's more steeped in the tradition, quote unquote,
Mhm.
than anything else.
So at some point, do you just say to tradition? Do you say like because I feel like when I got married, granted, I mean, I was married for like 20 years, so it was a few years ago. But
It was a
like
minute ago.
just a minute. Um what my parents wanted, what they expected the
Yeah.
wedding to be was a lot more than what I would have done.
Yeah. It's interesting because my first wedding was more the big blowout, bunch of people, the
Yes.
whole thing. I mean,
Super
even
fun.
yeah, even though my fiance at the time and I lived together already,
Mhm.
we had the pastor was telling us like, maybe you guys should live apart to the wedding, and I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. But there are a few things like, give me one thing that you think is outdated.
Well, today we were talking about the garter.
The garter, yes.
It sits between her sweaty thighs in that big old dress. That's like, and then you take it off and you fling it at a bunch of people. Like,
Well, and even the
ew.
garter dance part of it, where,
Yeah.
the groom, then has to go up under or gets up under the dress, gets it off a lot of times with his teeth. And
Ugh.
and while grandma's watching, and it
Yeah.
just becomes a whole weird thing. And then,
Yeah.
of course, everybody's got that drunk uncle who's, got to be the perv at every event.
So you were at my wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always one. But like, so that, I guess the veil doesn't really
The
make sense to
veil
me.
doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when you think about it that way.
Like,
Even
I love the dad walking down the aisle, but the whole passing off of
well,
like, like she's your responsibility now. My dad was like,
bye. See
peace.
ya. Yeah, I mean, really, that particular one, that used to be one of those things where it's like they would end up getting a dowry,
Mhm.
and couple hundred years ago, it was, "Hey, here's a cow and 3 chickens.
Yeah.
May I have your daughter's hand in marriage?"
Yeah.
That guy, it's just like you're buying property or something. It's weird.
It's just all of it now looking back, like when I got married, like that was so common, like all
Still,
those
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of it still is. But I feel like there's been this shift for friends that I've seen get married and like it's more about them
Yeah.
and what they want
Yeah,
rather
personal
than
choice.
like I had a friend that got married in a black dress.
Okay.
So good for you.
Yeah, goth wedding, love it.
Yes, absolutely. There were like so many different things that you can do that make it just more original and more you and like what,
Yeah.
but there was so much pressure to do all these different things. You're like, I can't afford this.
My wife didn't want to change her last name, and she's like, "Do you care?" I'm like, "Not really. No. Doesn't-
No,
I
it's a pain in the
I
butt.
still know we're married, so it's not like we're going to be less married because you didn't change your name. So no.
And I'm not saying this with you.
Yeah.
But like when you get divorced,
Right. It's
for
easier.
me, it's such like you have to go through this whole process to prove that you're you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm still me.
Right.
I have to prove that I'm me.
Right. Again.
And it's my birth certificate says this name. I just want to go back to that name.
Yeah.
No, a lot of it was enlightening once you're done with everything. One of the other things too is like when you get married, it's stressful. You fight. You want to claw his eyes out sometimes. And that really, ugh.
It's not just a claw his eyes out thing.
Not, but I'm saying like you just get so frustrated, like because
Yeah.
there's so much to do
Yeah,
and
there
it's
is.
stressful. And then you wake up the next morning, you're like, that was it.
Yeah. Right. We've been planning this for a year, and now it's over.
And you have this giant party and everyone's having a great time, but you have to go and say hi to everybody, the obscure uncles, the weird, creepy aunts, like all the people that you don't really want to talk to. You have to go talk to them. So you're not even really getting to enjoy yourself. And don't get me wrong, my wedding was a lot of fun. We had glow sticks. We had like all kinds of fun stuff.
Sure.
Another thing was the dollar dance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, to get extra money and all that. Right,
yeah.
right,
You
right.
want to put $1 in my halter?
Right.
Like, what is wrong with you?
All right, Uncle Bob. I don't think so.
Yeah. Sweaty palms. Yeah. Sweaty palms. You're like, ew, is this stripper money? Is this stripper money?
I mean, when you really think about it, is the actual wedding, like a big wedding, is that kind of outdated? Because it's funny because in this society for years, it feels like the wedding has been more of what it's about
Mhm.
instead of the marriage. which is really the most important thing, because
Yeah.
once the wedding's over, it's over. Yay, you had a big day and you got to, be special. And then now you actually have to work at being married.
Yeah.
So maybe
And most people are like, nah, it's easy to get divorced.
Right. And it's like, maybe put more focus on the marriage part of it and not throw this enormous shindig. But ultimately, it comes down to personal choice. Whatever anybody's
it was
into.
a couple years after I had gotten married. And my dad's like, well, it was either throw you this big wedding and, all of my savings went into it. He had to put out a bunch. I'm like, yeah, is it worth it? Especially right now when gas is $4.69 a gallon.
Right.
But also, he's like, I could have just given you a down payment on a home, and that would have made me a lot more money.
I'd much rather have a pile of money. Thank you.
I'd rather have a home that's already like,
yeah.
So I don't know. There's so many different, I think, fun traditions. Like, I think it is changing and evolving to where people are being smarter about it rather than just going with tradition.
Yeah, ultimately it comes down to whatever works for you. If you're into tradition, beautiful. Then go with the traditions. If you want to do something completely different and off the wall and get married as a Star Wars character, so be it. Go for it.
Well, we talked about you and your wife, and we're going to do that at some point.
We are going to have a ceremony with...
I'm going to be the best man with Stormtrooper outfit on,
okay.
like sitting right next.
Only if I get to dress as Darth Vader, so there we go.
There we go. Or I'm Chewbacca. Just don't shave for a couple days. Like, just let it all grow.
That tracks. Just saying.
But I mean, like, if you're sitting there stressing about wedding and stuff like that, just...
Do you, boo?
Do you? That's the thing is, I feel like too many times, like, we get roped into these traditions
for others. Yeah.
And yes, you do want to make them happy and you do want them to be proud, whatever else. But we learned a lot today when we had our Jenny's Impossible question about weddings, like all the things that people hate.
Yeah.
And we're like, why are we doing this now? I don't understand it. Just give them a cow and a chicken.
Yeah, or call it a day.
Price of beef?
Yeah.
That is an amazing
That's better than a pile of money. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you.